really had to step my game up. I was captain of the team, you know, I was the quarterback, so I was just gonna do everything. I was just thinking the only thing I wanted to do was win. And it was the fourth quarter. I remember it was third down, and the play call was to me, and I was supposed to fake a handoff and run up the middle. And I remember just right before I thought I was gonna score, I thought to myself to dive into the end zone from about the 3 or 4 yard line. And I couldn't even see the guy. There was a guy blocking to my left and there was a guy blocking to my right, and I could just see a clear seam for the touchdown. And a guy came out of nowhere when I ducked my head to bend over and dive in for the touchdown, and we just kind of hit helmet to helmet. And I remember as soon as I got hit, my whole body kind of shut down. I could kind of feel a level of coldness go from the top of my head down to the tip of my feet. And that's when I kind of was out of it for a few minutes. They said I went out for 3 to 4 to 5 minutes, and I woke up to my coaches looking down on me, asking me questions, asking me if I was okay, asking me if I could move, asking me if I could move my hands. And I remember the only thing I wanted to do was get back in the game. That's the only thing I was concentrated on. No one was thinking, you know, this kid's neck is broken at the time. No one thought that. I didn't think that especially. And I remember I was like, let me stand up, let me stand up. They let me stand up. I walked to the sideline. My mom was already at the sideline when I got over there. I took my pads off. She's already telling me, as soon as I get over there, she's already telling me, what are you doing? You know, you need to go to the hospital, you need to go to the ambulance. Mom just knows. She just knew that there was something wrong with me. And I remember I sat there for a few minutes, just watching the game, watching my friends and stuff, and I took all my pads off. I took my shoulder pads off, I took my helmet off, and I sat on the bench, and I could feel my neck getting stiffer. And my head, I could feel my head, I could tell I had a concussion. But I wasn't saying anything because the only thing I wanted to do was get back in the game. Finally, I realized, obviously, I'm not going back in the game. And I had taken my pads off and I started turning my neck both ways. And I remember I did it 3 times. I went left one time, I went right one time, I went left one more time. And when I did, that's when I felt on like the back left side of my neck, it just felt literally like a ton of bricks just landing on top of my neck. And that's when I realized that I really needed to go to the hospital. And I turned to my mom and I'm like, okay, I'm going to the ambulance. And I walked from the sideline to the ambulance. And that's when they took me to the hospital. They come in and they tell us the news. I remember I had a few friends around and a few coaches, and my mom standing right beside me when they came in, and they said that my neck was broken. And I see my mom, like the reaction on her face is really the scaredest I've been. I could see how scared she was. You know what I mean? I really didn't know, you know, how serious it was at the time. It just sounded like whatever. But I seen that look in my mom's eye, like, oh my God. And she ran out and she was already crying, like, and that's when it kind of started to set in that this is serious. But it really didn't hit me until the next morning when they put the halo on me and I woke up with it on. I remember my mom told me that when I first woke up, I was trying to like take it off, like tear at it with my hands, because I didn't really know what was going on at first. And that's when it really set in. When I was in the hospital, that was probably the worst off I was physically. When I first had the halo on, I just couldn't move. I felt so confined. This thing just, it was so new to me. And mentally, believe it or not, that first week in the hospital was probably the worst. Well, actually, it was probably the best that I felt, you know, just because all my family and all my friends were there all the time talking to me, keeping me up, you know. I was in the hospital for 6 days, and I went home and I still had, you know, family and friends coming to visit me every day for probably the first 3 to 4 weeks, you know, bringing me food, you know, just talking to me, keeping me up, you know, making me feel good. About a month or a month and a half after the accident, people stopped coming. And that's when it really started to set into me that this thing is, you know, I'm gonna be like this for a while. And it was hard, you know, after everyone stopped coming. I still had a couple friends that came every day, and I don't know what I would have done without them or my mom, you know, just being there for me in my lowest moment. One question that I asked myself every day for a long time was, why me? Why me? The hardest thing to do really was to look into a mirror, and I have to do that every single day. And that's one of the, when I look into the mirror, I reminisce on a lot of times when I was, still struggling, when I was still angry about everything that happened. I questioned God, and I just didn't understand why me. I didn't understand that for a long time. We found out that I actually had a birth defect that really is the reason that I'm still alive. And out of the 206 bones in the body, that just happens to be the only bone that I'm missing, which is half a bone. And I realized that there's no way that everything that's happened is a coincidence. There's just no way. And I feel like there's something that God wants me to do. It's definitely brought me closer to God, and I feel like God is using me to help other people. And the Bible says that God will never put more on a person than they can bear, and knowing that tells me how strong of a person I am mentally as well as physically and now spiritually. My mom is a single mother, and she has went out of her way to help me in so many ways. It's just amazing. She's the best mom I could ever ask for. She's always there for me. She's just my number one fan, and it's her that started all this, and it's her that's gonna help me get through it and finish all this. My little sister, I know she looks up to me a lot, and I love her a lot, and I know that she wants to see me get better and get out of the halo, and so does everybody else. I have 2 older brothers, and one of them is in Afghanistan, and I know that if he could be here for me, he would be, but he can't. So every chance that he gets, he writes me on Facebook and tries to call me and talk to me and see how I'm doing. And my other brother, he's been there for me since day one, since I was in the hospital, never left my side. Does everything that I ask him to do without question, just because I need him. Just amazing to see how many different people have wanted to help us raise this money so I can get to Germany, and it's just amazing, and I thank God for it every day. I mean, it's just a blessing to be getting all this help, and it really has surprised me, and I'm just thankful for it. I still have my good days and I still have my bad days, and it's still hard, but I guess I just got to push through it. Thinking about the surgery and all the things that are coming up, it's really, I'm scared, but I'm excited all at the same time. So it's a really weird feeling, because I really want to get this halo off, and I really want to get better, but I have to go through so much stuff before I can actually get there that it's almost unbearable. But I know I can push through it with, as far as I've come now, there's nothing that can stop me from getting to where I want to be, and I'm just determined to get there, and nothing's gonna stop me. There's no other way to describe what's happened to me other than just calling it a miracle. That's all you can say, is that it's just a miracle. And I feel like I can take what's happened to me and share it with other people, and tell about how big of a miracle it is, and how real our God really is, and share that with the rest of the world, and hopefully I can make a difference. I don't think I've ever wanted something as bad as I want this. Just to be able to have this halo off and just be normal again and live my life normal for the rest of it, because I'm still young, only 18 years old, and I have so much more life to live. So this surgery is really one of the most important things in my life right now. My name is Christian Hurt, and I'm walking proof that miracles do happen.